Okay, so Anthony, you want to be a global superstar and get a knighthood. You've set yourself a pretty high target.
Yeah,
How are you going to live up to that?
that's just by working hard, head down, working hard, listening to the experts, whether that's like the promoters, the managers, the boxing trainers, and just working hard and living the right life and just giving it my all. Like I said, they're massive statements to make, but that's ultimately what I want to achieve out of my life. I'd love to be knighted one day, and I'd love to become like a massive boxing superstar, because every single boxer in the sport does. Every single footballer wants to be the best. Every boxer wants to be the best. I'm no different.
I mean, were you tempted to sign with another promoter, or was it always going to be Golden Boy?
When I met Richard for the first time and left the room, I felt like this is the decision I'm going to go. Like I said in the press conference, I outlined my ambitions to everybody, and then Richard was the guy who I thought could deliver. Richard was the guy who shared my ambition and said, right, let's do this, let's get this done, let's make you a massive superstar, let's make you win, let's get you loads of world titles. I went as many world titles, I can't walk properly around my waist. And I feel like Richard's the guy who you could bring that for me, and the link with Oscar De La Hoya, what a guy to have as a mentor, arguably one of the greatest boxers of the generation. So I feel like this was the best step to make me the best fighter I could possibly be, because they're giving me the opportunity to go over there and box on America on the card. They're giving me the opportunity to go over and spar with Peter Quillen before his next world title defence, and that's only going to make me a better boxer. And what young, aspiring young fighter wouldn't want that opportunity?
But if you're splitting your time between Britain and America, is it going to be hard to build up a fan base, kind of a fan base in either, if you're split between the two?
Yeah, no, that's definitely not. I'm based in Britain. I'm an English fighter. I'm a British fighter. Like, you wouldn't at Olympic Games, there wasn't another boxer who had the same amount of passion as I have. I want to become knighted because I'm that proud of my country. That's why I want to become a sir. I'm definitely a British fighter. I'm just going to go over and train. Where some people take themselves off to Tenerife. Ricky Hatton did it for years. A lot of the matchroom guys go over to Tenerife. I looked on Twitter yesterday, and Darren Barker's now gone over to Spain and having a training camp over there. I'll be doing exactly the same, just in America. I'll be going doing 10, 14 days sparring in LA or in New York and coming back and doing most of my work here, because I'm a British fighter, and I'm very, very proud of my roots. So hopefully that shouldn't be an issue, because like I said, I'm as British as you'll come.
But when you look at the way Golden Boy have moved Amir Khan, I mean, do you want the same for you, or do you think that, or do you want your career to go in a different direction? Because he doesn't have the travelling fan base that, say, a Ricky Hatton did in his heyday.
No, I want that travelling fan base. I don't want to particularly do the same as he did, but he's a bit different. Like we've always said, Golden Boy want to build me up here. That Richard Chaffer's a very intelligent guy. He's very smart. He realises that the Ricky Hatton effect comes with being based here and built up here. And the only reason he took 30,000 over there is because he was an absolute legend. Everybody loved him, and he boxed here and he put his fan base up here. So that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to box here at the very, very minimum 4 times a year. And there's not many professional fighters out there at the minute boxing 4 times a year on British TV. There's not. So yeah, I'm going to be boxing here. I just want the link with America. I'm going to go over there and spar. They've got a lot more fighters over there. They've got, therefore, a lot more sparring over there, a lot more boxing competitions over there. So it's only going to make me better.
And the TV situation, do you know who's going to be showing your fights, and did that influence your decision with which promoter to go with?
Yeah, no, that's obviously Richard's domain. I know we've got some great opportunities with some great TV networks. So all my job is, to box as best as I possibly can each time I step through that ropes. And obviously, I want as many eyeballs watching me when I fight as possible, because that's how you become, well known. That's why every single person, doesn't matter what age, every single person, doesn't matter what sex they are, above the age of 30, knows who Nigel Benn is and Chris Eubank is, because they were on terrestrial TV and loads of people watched them. So that's what I want to do. I want to become a really liked fella. I want to become a really popular fella amongst the Britain, and as many people watching me as possible.
But at the moment, you don't know if you'll be on Sky or Box Nation or both.
No, I'm not. I mean, that's not up to me. Hopefully, it'll be the TV station. All I care about is the TV station, which has the most eyeballs watching. So, but we'll see. Yeah, that's obviously I just need to make sure I'll win my fights and carry on getting put on TV the next time.
I mean, are there any professional fighters you've spoken to or careers you've watched to kind of guide you in how you're going to take your own career?
That's Yeah, of course. I've been doing it all my life now. I've been kind of thinking about this, subconsciously all my life. I'm a massive boxing fan first and foremost. So I watch people like Ricky Hatton, and I look at what he does and think, wow, he took 30,000 people to Las Vegas. Only 10 of them could get into the boxing, but they still went just to be there. So I've looked at thought, I'd love to have his career, love to have his support network and fan base. Yeah, him. I'd love back in the 90s, Michael Watson, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank era, Steve Collins. I love that era. And I even like Prince Nazim. Everybody loved. I loved how much of a showman he was. I'm not going to be going doing flips over the ring because I'm just not that athletic. But I loved how he kind of captivated a certain array of people. And I just want to attract myself. Not attract myself. I want as many different kind of genres, genre people watching boxing as possible.
And someone like James DeGale, I mean, he's kind of at a middleweight, an Olympic medalist. I mean, what have you learned from watching his career?
I think James is he's a brilliant fighter. Obviously, you don't win gold medals at the Olympic Games without being a brilliant fighter. I really rate him. I've done a bit of sparring with him in the past. I think he's a great fighter. I think for some reason he's deterred people from liking him. Probably a lot of it to do with the George Groves fight he had. He didn't come across very well. He probably knows that himself. And if he could go back and do it again, he'd probably do things differently. So that's not in my nature to kind of be like that, and that's not in my nature to kind of hold my nose and say people. That's not what I'm like. But James did it, and whether he regrets it or not, I'm not too sure. But it's good to see him back on boxing on Channel 5 now, getting a bit bigger fan base because he's a brilliant fighter and he deserves to be in some limelight somewhat. But yeah, that's not my nature. I'd like to think I was quite a nice guy, quite a genuine, nice bloke, and hopefully people can that'll appeal to many people and people will support me.
And I mean, if you had won a gold medal at the Olympics, how much of a difference would that have made to negotiating with promoters afterwards?
Yeah, I don't know really. I'm not too. One, it didn't happen, so it's not even an issue. But two, I don't know. I think I still would have signed with Golden Boy. Potentially could have got more money for signing on, but I didn't get a great deal of money anyway. It's about the long one. I'm in this for the next 10 to 15 years. It's not about now. It's not about getting on now. And I think sometimes you saw with Woody Harrison, the more you get at an early age, doesn't always. Sometimes it can be worse for you. So I'm very much thinking about the long project. If I'd won a gold medal, I may not have been as hungry as I am now. If I'd have achieved a gold medal like Luke Campbell and Anthony Joshua did, they might feel like it's never going to get any better than this. Whereas I feel like I've got a lot more to get, a lot more to give. I still feel kind of hard done by a lot of things. So yeah, I'm ready to go and hopefully grab what I feel is right for mine.
Get involved with all the best boxing banter at our forum, and that's forum.boxingnewsonline.net.